Mayor, Majority Leader Doherty, members of the City Council. I'm here representing Group 175. As you know, Bruce Brewer and I run a concealed carry class, and we canvass the most difficult areas in the city: Shore Avenue, Gibbs, 19th and Maple. We also deal and contact all of the businesses that deal in cash. And the one concern is that they're concerned about crime as it relates to police strength. I'd like to take this moment to thank the Mayor and the Council for the 14 additional policemen that they have put into this year's budget. But with our studies, we feel that the police strength should be at 175. Now, I have put on each of your desks this report, which states in 2008 there were 2,432 arrests with 175 officers, with an average of 14 arrests per officer. 2012, we dropped 843 as the strength of the police department dropped, but also an alarming statistic is the arrest per officer also reduced. Last week, President Schulman indicated that he would like us to contact our legislators, and we would like, from the Mayor's office, a little guideline and some printed material so that we can speak effectively to that issue. And we would also like to meet with whomever that you would designate to help us in terms of getting our police strength up to 175. We'll meet with anybody, anywhere, at any time. All you have to do is tell us when and where, and we'll arrange it. Now, the concealed carry permits were up 52% last year. That indicates there is a problem. Also, the crime statistics in terms of the shots fired more specifically relate to gangs. And we'd like for our police department to be proactive and to get the gang force back going so that we can infiltrate these gangs and create safety before the crimes even happen. So that's part of that 175. And also, last year we built 17 new houses in the city, the year before 14. There's a tremendous amount of growth going on, and it all relates to safety. And also, the final thing is that while we lost almost 7,200 people in the city of Canton, Stark County lost only 2,000. And our median income dropped down from 38 to 30,000. That's a big drop.
Nordman and Brett Moore and the others with the 175 tag on. Certainly applaud you for that thought. We'd love to be able to do that. The city of Canton has lost over the last 7 or so years, 6 or 7 years, the city of Canton has lost $6.5 million in annual funding that was state-funded support that we used to get. $6.5 million. That amount is just about exactly what we need to get both the police department and the fire department. If you're focusing on police, the fire department is down 30 to 40 guys, just like the police department. If we got both of them back up to the strength we had in 2008, it would cost us over $6 million, which is almost exactly the amount of money the state is taking from us. Those dollars that the state cut to local funds, and it's happening not just to Canton, but local communities across the state of Ohio, those are directly related to police and fire protection in our cities across Ohio, which is why we've been screaming like crazy as mayors to let them know we don't want them to take any more. That's general fund money that helps us keep our community safe. The state budget's going to come up again in July, 1st of July. They have to have a vote by, and we're concerned about the changes that they'll make that address local government. We're also very concerned about House Bill 5. House Bill 5 is an issue on local government tax collections and what we're allowed to charge on taxes. They're claiming it's something to make it uniform across the state of Ohio. It's a Trojan horse. It has nothing to do with uniformity, because every time we recommend something that would create a process that's the same, they continue to slip in tax credits, tax breaks, and tax loopholes for special interests. The way that it's structured now, it could cost the city of Canton anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million more if the bill passes the way it is, of money that we will not be allowed to collect anymore at the local level because of changes in the state government. Another $1 million loss is about, well, I can't even put 20 more police officers and firemen. That's the equivalent. So as we sit here and talk about trying to strengthen our budget and our finances and our spending, it is directly related to what's happening in Columbus. I'd be more than happy to meet with you individually or as a group to share with you the information that's come out of Columbus and what they're looking at now to help lobby the legislators and get our message out. We've been working very strong in the Municipal League. We've got councils that have supported resolutions all over the state and mayors that have written letters. But again, it's a fight to protect local control and local support from the state. We need all the help we can get, and your voices will be very welcome into that fight. So if you'd like, we can set up something maybe next week where I can give you all the information you need to help us. One other factor, thank you. One other factor is Alan Schulman asked our state legislators to come present to this council and talk to us about the state budget. And I think only one of them showed up, is that correct? Not very council, but one came. In other words, we've had an opportunity to ask our legislators to come here to speak to this council to discuss what's going on in Columbus, and they've refused. So I think that says a lot in reference to how much that they care about what's going on.
All I want is a reaction from you tonight to the mayor's statement, as I understood it, is blame the state of Ohio. We lost $6 million. We're going to lose more, possibly. And so we're just not going to get your 175 policemen because the money's not there. Because you don't think the state of Ohio is going to say, oops, we made a mistake. Here's the $6 million.
In answer to your question, I said to the mayor, I said, I'm just a little stone, but in your shoe I can be a big stone. Now, I'm looking for some creative thinking. He's agreed to a meeting. I'm going to call Terry and get on his calendar as soon as possible. I have to be out of town for about 10 days starting with the middle of next week, but I'm going to try to see if I can get a meeting Monday or Tuesday. I understand the state issue, but we seem to be able to find $3 million with a snap of a finger without too much concern. We seem to be able to find $360,000 to fund the shots fired. And if we can do that kind of creative thinking, then we can do that kind of creative thinking with the city budget related to police. And police in this city are extremely important in terms of the safety. We're going to build a $28 million facility down here that they're looking for middle to upper income people on the south side of the city in the middle of nowhere. Now,
You're talking about Hercules.
Hercules. Now, who wants to live in that area in the middle of nowhere with the current police strength? Any middle to upper income individual is going to say to themselves, who's going to protect me? So these are some of the issues, and good that we're starting to move in some direction. I'm not against that, but it's got to be safe. What's going on here is that the median income since the last census in 10 years dropped from 38,000 to 30,000. We lost 7,200 people between the 2000 census and the 2010 census, while the county lost only 2,000. Now, to me, that indicates that people who can move, those people are looking to attract, have moved, because the median income dropped $8,000, so it tells me that they've moved out. I hear, and I'm seeing building going all around Canton. We built 17 new houses last year. Wow, what a big accomplishment, and 14 the year before. I'm concerned that we're headed in the wrong direction, and safety is a major issue with people wanting to stay in the city. So, we're going to do all we can to help them in that area, but we're holding the mayor accountable for what goes on in the city. We're going to go to that meeting with the expectation that he is going to find a way to reallocate funds from other areas to the public safety, just the same way that the Stark County Commissioners took monies from other departments and put them into the sheriff's budget. So that's what we're looking for, because the foundation is safety first, and then we can talk about all the other things. So that's what we're going to do. That's fine. We'll be happy to try to help out in that area, but that's not the excuse that we're willing to accept. That's okay, fine. Now let's find a way to make it work.
So just to summarize, you are not accepting the mayor's point that the city of Canton's lost $6 million in state funding as an excuse for not being at 175 police officers. Is that correct?
I'm asking the mayor, and we'll ask him at this meeting, to find a way to take monies from other areas to prioritize safety in this city. Now, we'll do all we can to get that $6.5 million, and we'll help him in that direction. But we're talking to the mayor of the city of Canton, not to the governor of the state of Ohio. We have an issue here. We want some action, and we need him to give some attention to this area to prioritize reallocation of funds to circumvent this and get us back to 2008 figures. When we had 75 officers in 2008, we had 854 more arrests, and the rate of arrest was 14 per officer, and it's dropped down to 11. We're very concerned about that. The police officers are doing a wonderful job with what they got. But in the meantime, citizens on the street need to see blue uniforms, and the vice department needs to be beefed up a little bit so that we can be proactive in terms of infiltrating into troubled areas, gangs, and various facilities that promote crime, so that we can eliminate these crimes before they even begin. Now, one thing I didn't mention here tonight, and I should have, and I'll do it again next week, was while we were holding this meeting, last week, the city council meeting, there were 2 armed holdups in our neighborhood.
Vassar Park, right?
Vassar Park, yes, sir. Right, and the police officer and the police department thinks they were the same individual. So that's all wonderful. We got shots fired, you know, that's all tremendous. That's $360,000. Frankly, I'd rather see that put on the street with police officers, because if I was a criminal, I'd create a whole lot of commotion on one side of the city and have the police rush over there and call my buddy and say, oh, they're all over here, let's go over there. And crime doesn't get committed by cowboys running into town with their guns shooting. Crime gets done very quietly with criminals putting a gun in somebody's face and saying, I want your money, or even more so. So this is what we're concerned about, is that where there's a presence of police officers, crime reduces. And that's what we're after.
Well, are you and your group intent, notwithstanding not being able to get money from the state of Ohio, of getting to the 175 police level in Canton? Is that your number?
That's our number. And the number is supported by the figures in terms of the arrests at 175, and that's our number. That's why we're wearing badges that say 175, and we're going to show up again.
Where is your badge?
I had to loan my badge out tonight.
There you go.
to another citizen, because they know who I am. But this is the badge that we are wearing. We are calling ourselves Group 175.
Okay.
And we will speak to ourselves about that, and they will get to know us, because that's the number we're sticking to, because our studies indicate that that's the level, the minimum level that we should be at to reduce crime. And the fact that the jail was reduced in strength has absolutely nothing to do with the arrests that officers make. The policemen in Canton are a proud bunch of police officers, and they do their job. And the fact fact that the jail was at reduced strength during those 2 years has absolutely nothing to do with the arrests that the officers make. Officers make arrests based on performing their duty as they're sworn to do. So we want to get it back up there so that the neighborhoods become safe, and particularly we have concentration of officers in the troubled areas that I mentioned, which are Gibbs, Maple and 19th, and Shorb Avenue, plus all of the businesses that we go to. When we knock on doors and we're talking to them, several of them have had holdups that they don't even want to turn in because they're concerned they're going to lose their insurance, or their insurance rates are going to be raised prohibitively that they can't afford to stay in business. So there's a lot of unreported crimes from the standpoint of just the economics of staying in business.
Well, and you're just talking the Vassar Park neighborhood.
No, I'm talking the entire city. Because when we go out for our, and what I'm speaking to are the over 500 people that we knock on their doors to promote our concealed carry class. In the process, they're telling us what's going on. We visit businesses, gas stations, pizza parlors, hair salons, drugstores, grocery stores that have our flyers up, and we talk to the owners and managers of these businesses who are really concerned about crime and scared to death because their lives are on the line, because they're handling cash. And this is the entire city that we're talking to. We go into businesses all over the place to hand out our literature and to talk to people, and they open up to us about their concerns. And if businesses start to leave and citizens start to leave, which is already happening, as I say, we lost 7,700 people between the last census, 2000 and 2010, while the county only lost 2,000. That's telling you something, and the fact that the median income per household dropped from $38,000 to some $30,000. That means the people who can move have moved, and we got to find a way to get them back in here. Safety is one of those issues, and we are not going to just accept that the state government has cut funding. They've cut funding for everybody, but we have to find a way, and I know we can. I mean, we've already spent $3,360,000 in 2 weeks that just appeared out of somewhere. So we want a slice of that for the police officers to protect the citizens of the city and to make it an attractive place for people to come in. Because people look at the crime rate, they drive through the neighborhoods, they see the for sale signs, they see the conditions of some areas, and they say, you know what, let me rethink this. And we want this city to grow. There is no reason that this city can't be the jewel. It has all of the building blocks. We've got a wonderful Palace Theater. We've got First Fridays. We've got a terrific art museum. We got the McKinley Museum. We have the Hall of Fame Festival. We have all the makings to make this city really the jewel. As Brett was mentioning, the shining star. This city can be that shining star.
But the crime rate's the downer.
The crime rate is very significant in terms of what's happening in this city. And we know because we walk the streets knocking on doors in the 3 toughest crime areas in the city. And we go into stores and businesses and talk to the owners. So this isn't something, you know, we're pulling out of the sky. Bruce, Scotty, who couldn't make it because of an earache, Brett and myself, we go down these streets and knock on doors and talk to folks in the toughest areas in the city, and they're scared to death. And this is who we're speaking for.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. The portion of our meeting dedicated to public speaks. Good morning, Mr. Nordman. How are you today?
Good morning.
And I bet we're going to hear what 175 stands for. I don't know what 175
Thank you for asking.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you do.
Thank you for asking. As a matter of fact, you have a flyer right in front of you. Thanks to your good graces in providing us with the information relative to police arrests versus the police strength in the city of Canton. We have dubbed ourselves now Group 175, which means we are campaigning with the City Council to bring the police force in the city of Canton from 150 to 175. I won't belabor my prior comments, which I know you have all heard and support relative to our mission. But I got some great news. Besides the fact of presenting this to the City Council on Monday, we have a meeting with the mayor, with outgoing Director Reams and incoming Mr. Price and the chief to discuss this matter. Now, their contention is that they lost $6.5 million due to state budget cutbacks. Looking at the cost to do this, which is to support the city or the Stark County, it's about $825,000, and we're going to push real hard, and we are using you, the commission, as an example of what happens when a governmental agency takes a positive look, because what you did to help the Sheriff's Department beef it up is that you reprioritize, yeah, wow, that's a good one, you know what I mean.
Move stuff around.
Yeah, you move monies around. I'll go out and give my tongue a spanking. And this is the approach that we're asking the city of Canton to do.